I'm here with my boy Jeremy. We're here to present you our NBA morning shoot around for Thursday, March 21st. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This week, I'll watch all of our NBA, MLB, and NFL videos. If you haven't came and checked out our website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily Fanduel, and Draftkings cash lineups. So hey man, we got it all though. One-stop shop, all your DFS needs. Check it out, dfscheatsheet.com. So hey, what up, Jeremy? How you doing, bro?
Yo, what's up, man? What is up?
Not much.
I'm actually just finished building some single entry baseball lines. For those of you guys who probably don't realize, MLB is off and running. There's fantasy baseball going on FanDuel tonight, regular season baseball. Mariners and the A's live from Tokyo at 2:30 in the morning.
Shit. Yeah, for sure. Hey, baseball's coming in quick. I'm excited for baseball. Last year, I've been playing baseball for about 3 years. And last year was probably my most profitable baseball year, and I kind of found some strategy I like. So I'm looking forward to it this year for sure. Basketball has just been so crazy this year for me. Definitely, I've been up and down. Profitable because I have some solid hits. But yeah, baseball, it's cool, when you've been doing something for a 3 or 4 month stretch, like we've been doing basketball. Now you're gonna get baseball and you'll be excited for that for a little while. And then towards the end you'll get tired of it a little bit. You'll want to go to football. That's just how it is, That's really where we're at right now. Transition from basketball into some baseball, man. But yeah, so if you guys haven't, hey, check out the site. We got an MLB season long special going on right now. Pre-order special. You get the whole season, $150 plus the rest of the NBA absolutely free. Use MLB promo code 50 and yeah, check that out on the site. So you ready to talk some basketball, bro?
Let's get into it.
All right, real quick before we do, if you guys don't mind, please take that quick second, click the like button down below. Helps me out. Really, really appreciate that from you guys. And yeah, so we'll jump into it. First game that we're gonna go with is gonna be the Minnesota Timberwolves going into Charlotte to face the Hornets. We don't have an over/under or Vegas line on this yet. Waiting on some news, but yeah, go ahead and get us started with the Timberwolves side of things, man.
Yeah, man. So look, questionable Thursday is Taj Gibson, and outside of that, we know Jeff Teague, Robert Covington, Luol Deng, and Derrick Rose have all been ruled out already. So that puts a huge boost to guys like Andrew Wiggins, Karl Anthony Towns, Tyus Jones at 5.3. Pretty much everybody in their starting five is in play in this one. You could also take a look at guys like Anthony Tolliver as a pump play. You could also take a look at Keita Bates-Diop as a pump play as well. Those two guys are going to get some run. They should see upwards, for Tolliver between 17 and 20 minutes, for Keita Bates-Diop between 24 and 32 minutes. And then, look, the guy that I really like a lot here is Josh Okogie, to be honest with you. I like Okogie at 4.3. He's playing solid minutes. The guy's a first-round draft pick. He's a legit player. He's just a rookie. He's a young guy, but he's getting an opportunity to get run. Dario Saric at 4,000 starting. If Taj Gibson is out, yes, please, all day long, especially against the absolute depleted and diminished front court of the Charlotte Hornets. And then you have to start with the man himself, right? Karl Anthony Towns, 11.5, absolute crush spot in this one. If Cody Zeller is to get ruled out, I like it even more. I look for this game to be competitive. It's Kemba Walker at home. The guy should ball out like he normally does at home, and it'll help keep this game close. But I think Karl Anthony Towns in a crush spot, all 5 starters in play. Bates-Diop and Anthony Tolliver also in play here.
I mean, yeah, man. On the Hornets side of things, there's a couple guys that I'm gonna say you could look at, but I'm not really too interested. I do like Kemba Walker. You mentioned him; he's the guy you do got to look at. At home, we always like Kemba Walker at home. He plays much better, and then he's going against the Timberwolves team, who's, hey, let's face it, they're banged up right now. They're not the best team. I definitely think this game will be competitive and be a back and forth game. Solid spot for Kemba Walker. Like him here a lot. Price tag makes him maybe a little bit more of a GPP play for me, but I definitely think he's right there borderline cash. I wouldn't blame you. Outside of that, I like Nicholas Batum. He's definitely a GPP because so much up and down. Jeremy Lamb's playing very, very well, whether he's, coming off the bench or he's starting. The guy just, he's their scorer, and he's playing 30, 33 minutes a game. Very, very consistent. The price tag has crept up a little bit. That's, I will mention that. But I don't know what they're doing here with the big guys, Hernan Gomez, Biombo. They're kind of splitting some minutes, etc. Biombo, even when the guy didn't play, only got like 18 minutes or something. The guy that's really getting minutes is Comiskey, but now Comiskey at 4.7. Yeah, I think that he's a fair price tag. You could still kind of go there. You need 23, 24 for value. So I still think he is decent, but once he starts getting into the 554, 5,500, I think he's going to start getting out of play. So I still think he is in play at this price tag. He is the guy getting the most consistent minutes. Especially if Cody Zeller out, then you could consider those guys. But yeah, man, the Hornets are a mess to me.
That's the whole thing, bro. It's Cody Zeller as far as Kaminsky goes. He's going to play between 17 and 20 minutes if Cody Zeller plays. If Cody Zeller doesn't play, he's going to play between 22 and 26 minutes. And if he's going to play 26 minutes at that price tag, you take it all day long and move on.
Yeah, for sure. But it starts getting in the range where it's like, how much upside am I going to really get out of it?
Well, tomorrow, in my opinion, there's a ton of upside if Taj Gibson's out. If Taj Gibson is out and then Cody Zeller is out, Taj Gibson is a even though Taj Gibson might not start and Taj Gibson would come off the bench.
Oh, yeah.
There's at least Gibson plays underneath the basket and he plays around the basket where Comiskey can do some stuff and it sets up a mismatch.
For sure. I get what you're saying. All right, man. Moving on. Next game we're going to go with it is going to be the Denver Nuggets going into Washington to face the Wizards. This game has a 218.5 over under. Denver is favored by 6, and Washington is on the second end of a back-to-back as well.
Look, I told you guys that I felt today like Vucevic, just lock him in your cash lineups and move on. I felt he had 50 as a floor. I think he got 47. So I just felt his price tag and matchup was solid, and I feel the same way about Jokic. I feel that 10-1 for Jokic is too cheap against a Wizards team that is terrible against centers. They don't have a real center. They're playing Bobby Portis as their center. I think this is a crush spot for Jokic. Look, you get him in the early game, you get him in your lineup in your cash games at 10-1. 10-1's too cheap for Jokic. The guy's playing 30 minutes and averaging 18, 9, and 6 right now over his last 5 games. So 10-1 on that price tag against a team that is just inept against centers, I'll take that all day long. Millsap, the problem for me with Millsap is when he starts getting above 7,000, he's hard to play. So, I'll take Jamal Murray. I'll take Jokic. I think Jamal Murray's close to being safe in all formats. And then, outside of that, Gary Harris and Will Barton really aren't doing it for me. The minutes are there for Will Barton, just the consistency is not. And I think that has a lot to do with the injuries they've had, the minutes limits they've put in place, kind of the revolving door of players that they've had going on has kind of made their rotation not stable. And I think that as we get down the stretch in the playoffs approach, that will kind of solidify itself. But as of right now, there's just not enough consistency with Gary Harris and Will Barton for me to want to roll them out. I'm okay if you want to play them in tournaments on a 6-game slate, but to me, the safest guys are Jokic and Murray.
Yeah, man, for sure. On the Wizards side of things, man, I don't really like too many things. You got them going against a Denver team who's a really good defensive team. Not only that, you got Wizards on the second end of a back-to-back. A guy I played today, Jeff Green, 4.6. He gave me 23. That's what you need at 4.6, 23. He gave me 5X. I can't complain. Wish I would have got a little bit more, and he could have got me a little bit more tournament upside. But these are guys that's pretty consistent you can look at, especially if Trevor Ariza is out. He'll probably get some extra run down the stretch. He'll play small forward. He'll play a little bit of power forward as well. I like him if Trevor Ariza is out, giving him a good boost. But, Satoransky, 6.9 GPP play. Portis, I don't like him going against Jokic, Millsap, Mason Plumlee. It's a tough matchup right here for him. His price is down. He's just really been all over the place. 5.6. He's a GPP play. Bill, 10.3. You can look at him in GPPs. What are you really liking on the Wizards?
I'll be honest with you. If I don't think Trevor Ariza is going to play tomorrow because he left the game tonight with a groin injury.
Or maybe McRae?
I'm sorry?
I was thinking maybe McRae. I was a guy I was considering. Like, He got some run today because what's his name went out?
Chasing Randall.
Oh, Randall. Okay.
I could see drop spotting Chasing Randall tomorrow. I could totally see that. But there's not a lot here for Washington. There's just not. Denver's a really good team defensively. They just are.
I was trying, man. I was just like, man, where do I want to go? You know what I mean? But yeah, moving on. Next game we're gonna go with it is gonna be the Utah Jazz going into Atlanta to face the Hawks. This game has a 226.5 over under. Utah's favored by 7 in this one.
Yeah. So look, let's start here with Rudy Gobert, right? Look, I think that on a back-to-back, man, I just think this guy's too cheap against a team, again, that doesn't have a real center. Donovan Mitchell, everybody was asking about Mitchell and what we thought about Mitchell tonight in the Garden, and I just couldn't get behind it. I think he got 41 fantasy points at an 8.9 price tag, so he didn't quite pay off at 5X. Again, it's another spot for me. Derek Favors, I think we're going to see news tomorrow that he could possibly miss. He has a tight quad or tight, I think it was a tight hamstring or tight thigh, they called it. I could see back-to-back, older guy. Jazz team's not really playing for anything right now. Their seed's kind of set. So I'm not on this spot right now. I mean, Joe Ingles, Ricky Rubio, their prices are fair. They're mid-value plays. But I think Utah as a whole, and surprisingly, I'm saying this against an Atlanta team that doesn't play a lot of defense. I'm most interested probably in Jay Crowder and maybe even take a dive on Thabo Sefolosha if for some reason Derek Favors does get ruled out.
Yeah, on the Hawk side of things, there's a couple guys you can look at. Obviously, it's not a good matchup going against the Jazz. Got a couple good big men. They're a pretty solid defensive team overall. But any game that the Hawks have been in this year, it's a run and gun game. That's just the style, and people really don't have a chance. That's just what they have to do. And I'm not saying, the Jazz are going to win this game, but they're going to probably have to run a little bit more than they usually do. So there's going to be points in this game for sure. On the Hawks side of things, I like Collins. I like Trae Young. Both of those guys are fair price. If I had to pick between those two, I definitely would go with Trae Young in the matchup against Rubio. I think it's a solid spot. He's been showing us a ton of consistency. He's averaging right around 35 fantasy points a game, and he gives you gives you 50 fantasy point upside. Even 55, 60 fantasy point upside. So I like Trae Young, 7.6. He's my favorite play on the Hawks. Outside of that, for GPPs, you can look at Alex Lynn at 4.2, or you can look at a Kent Bazemore, 3.9. I know the minutes haven't been there for him, but this is a crazy price for Bazemore. We know that the organization is very high on him. So I think that both of those guys are in GPP consideration off the bench. Bembre, 4,000 GPP play as well. But with the Hawks, I think that Trae Young is the best play, and that's really where I'm at.
Cool.
Next game we're going to go with is going to be the Detroit Pistons going into Phoenix to face the Suns. This game has a 218.5 over under, and Detroit is favored by 7 in this one.
I think that this is rough too, to be honest with you. Andre Drummond, I've been high on the guy all year, but look, you got Jokic at 10.1, who I think is in a really good spot. And then I think Karl Anthony Towns again, and his price tag's in a good spot. So, as we've gone on so far, I would rate Drummond probably is my number 3 center so far. And I'd put him in tournament consideration. And, look, Blake Griffin he rested the other night. He should be fully fresh for this one. A familiar opponent, having, played in the West his whole career. He's seen, this team of especially Bender and Devin Booker and Josh Jackson. Like he's played against these guys. So I think the Blake Griffin could possibly reach value tomorrow. It's just not sexy. He hasn't played well recently. The last time they played, he had 32 fantasy points. To me, I look at Reggie Jackson at 5.5. Reggie Jackson, the thing with Reggie Jackson is always going to be minutes, right? If he's going to get minutes, Reggie Jackson could definitely hit value for you. I like this 5.5 price tag for Reggie Jackson playing against Phoenix. But that's kind of where I'm going to draw the line, man. I'm not really interested in any other pieces here. Possibly a Luke Kennard in tournaments or a Ish Smith in tournaments as like maybe pivot pump plays. But there's not a lot here for Detroit for me. I'm just not excited about it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna keep it simple. It's real simple. It's real easy with the Suns. DeAndre Ayton, you gotta like him. Melton, 3,600. Last game, yes, he busted and he didn't have a good game, but he couldn't score the ball and he didn't play well. But he's playing 22. He's starting. He's playing. He's gonna probably play 24, 25 minutes would be my guess. And we need 20, 24, 25 would be great. That would be what 6x, 7x. So yeah, no, I like him. I think he's a solid GPP play. And then you got to go with Bridges. He's getting a bunch of minutes with all the injuries. Booker, he's a guy. He's getting. He can take 30 shots, and they're not going to tell him nothing. They need him to score. Him and Ayton are really carrying the team. So those are definitely the top two plays. Off the bench, the guy I like is Josh Jackson. But I definitely think that these Suns are in play because they're shorthanded, and we just said it a couple of days ago. The Pistons haven't necessarily been playing the best lately, and they've been playing very, very competitive. Yeah, so I think that Melton, if he's going to be in that starting lineup, I think that he is a solid drop spot play. If there's other places that you want to pay up on, but yeah, that's really where I'm at with the Suns, man.
Yeah, and they're very short with Oubre and Tyler Johnson already been ruled out.
Right. That's why all these guys are going to play a bunch of minutes. And I like the Josh Jackson again, 5.4 even if he comes off the bench. Moving on. Next game we're going to go with is going to be the Dallas Mavericks going into Sacramento to face the Kings. This game has a 229 over under, and Sacramento's favored by 8.5 in this one.
Look, there's a couple of plays here. Doncic is definitely in play against this team, this Kings team. This is the fun and gun Kings, right? So team, it's up pace, it's the whole thing. So, we just saw him blow I think a 27-point lead in the fourth quarter against Brooklyn last night. So Dwight Powell, he's in play at 6.9 at your power forward spot. He's going to play center. Listed as a power forward on Fanduel. I believe he has dual eligibility on Draftkings. Jalen Brunson playing the shooting guard position. Listed as a point guard. I believe he also has dual eligibility on DraftKings. Those guys are definitely in play as well. There's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. I understand the spread is 8. The bad thing is Dallas is on a back-to-back, so I don't know what that does. But a guy that I'm going to tell you, a guy that I'm really interested in playing tomorrow is heavily as a drop spot play, and that's Justin Jackson. He had 21 points tonight against Portland. A very talented kid. He was with Sacramento. In spots, he had some really good games and some really good production when they had guys down with injuries earlier in the season. And the guy can definitely play. So it is the second half of a back-to-back. I could see this guy getting some minutes again tomorrow, going against his former team. Dirk Nowitzki, I've said it all year. I'll keep saying it as he's on this farewell tour. You just don't know how many minutes he's going to get. But he's definitely in play every night as a drop spot because he has the upside. If for some reason on that particular night they're going to let him play 20 minutes or 22 minutes, he can definitely still get you some production. So, I look at him as a drop spot play with upside. But that's kind of where I'm at. I think this will be a fun game. I think it will stay relatively competitive. I think this game is somewhat like the Cleveland-Milwaukee game tonight where I said if Cleveland can hit threes, Cleveland will stay in this game. They can hit threes at home, and look what happened in that one. So I think this game could stay competitive for a bit. I understand it's a back-to-back, but you have to look at also Doncic, young guy, Powell, young guy, Brunson, young guy, Hardaway, still a young guy, Justin Jackson, young guy. Another guy that should get some run in this one as well is Dorian Finney-Smith. So these are all young guys. So a back-to-back situation is not really a big deal for these young guys. And the trip from Portland to Sacramento is a 2-hour flight. So not a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. On the King side of things, there's some guys that we can definitely look at. Start with, Harrison Barnes. Mavericks traded Harrison Barnes this season in the middle of a game to the Kings. Hey, this is a good revenge narrative. I love Harrison Barnes in this spot. I can see them definitely feeding him a little extra, giving him a little extra, and it's, they all know, we all know this stuff. If we're talking about it, obviously the teammates are talking about it, in my opinion. So I like him a lot. I think that's where I'm going to start. Then you could go with Buddy Hield, been shooting the ball very, very well. There's going to be a bunch of points scored in this game. The projected score 200, total 219 points. So yeah, man, I like the Kings. I definitely like the Kings in this spot. All four starters outside of Bijalika are all in play. They're all pretty much fair prices. Fox is up there a little bit. I don't know if I want to pay 8,500 for him. But he is a decent GPP play. On the bench, you can look at Marvin Bagley. The guy's getting a ton of minutes off the bench. You don't need him to start. He's going to come off the bench and still get you close to 30 minutes. He plays in crunch time. And his cool thing is he plays off the bench, so he gets a lot against second stringers, so he gets his, man. The guy's been playing well. He's giving you a solid floor. I like him. And you got to like Bogdanovich as well. He has a price drop 4.7 right now. So I think it's a buy low opportunity on Bogdanovich. And that's really it for me with the Kings.
You can look at Bagley all you want, and I'll play him.
And not play him?
No, you can look at him. I'll play him. There's no looking for me. The dude's their best player. He is their best player. I'm going to go ahead and say that. I watch a ton of the Kings games. This dude is their best player. He's their best player.
Yeah, no, for sure. Moving on, final game of the night, we got the Indiana Pacers going into Golden State to face the Warriors. This game has a 220.5 over under, and Golden State's favored by 11. And one thing I quickly want to mention is I know that this game really depends on Darren Collison, because Darren Collison, I know he's not the superstar nothing, but he's a really, really good player, and the Indiana Pacers play very well when he plays. So I think that's a big thing that we got to wait on in this game.
I don't. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but the Warriors are not playing the Warriors are not playing the best basketball. They're trying to find it.
Gotcha.
They struggle with pick and roll basketball. That's just something that they struggle with. They were down for a long time, and Minnesota jumped on them early. The road trip, they lost. You can go back to just last week they lost to Phoenix. They're not playing great basketball, so I don't think that. I think that the game, I don't think that if we get news that Darren Collison is ruled in, the spread's going to go from 11 to 4. So I don't think that it's that big of a deal. This is a playoff team, though. This Pacers team is a playoff team. To me, it's about Bogdanovich. If Bogdanovich can knock down shots and have a 35, 40-point fantasy production game, I think this game could be close. Look, Thaddeus Young is going to get pestered by Draymond. We know that. Miles Turner is going to bang with either. If Boogie, I would tell you this. Looking at it right now, I think that the Boogie decision on if he plays or not is bigger than Collison, for the simple fact that I don't see anybody that's going to defend Miles Turner other than pace. You know what I mean? Like if the Warriors' pace could neutralize Miles Turner, but if Boogie doesn't play, but outside of that, I mean,
they got big guys. They got Bogut. They got Looney. They got guys that they can throw at him.
But Miles Turner's skill set is the guy's added the 3-point shot to his skill set. He can play the high pick and roll. He can get under and bang. Miles Turner is really skilled, man. He's really underrated player this year. He's really skilled. He's a part of the reason why they're where they're at without Victor Oladipo. So, look, I think that there's guys in play here. I think Bogdanovich is in play. I think Thaddeus Young is a little bit in play. I think Wesley Matthews is somewhat in play in tournaments. Corey Joseph is definitely, I think, a better play if Collison plays than if he doesn't. I just think that Corey Joseph coming off the bench is a much better player than Corey Joseph starting. That's just my 2 cents. Interesting play here for me is Sabonis. That's the interesting guy for me, because Sabonis's minutes have kind of been all over the place recently. If Sabonis is going to get his regular allotment of minutes, I think Sabonis could crush in this spot going against the Warriors bench. You're going to see Looney, McKinney, Jerebko, Iguodala, and Durant or Klay Thompson or Steph Curry with that group. So I think Sabonis is a guy that could smash in this spot.
For the Warriors, hey, you play all 5 starters. You can play them all. They're all fair price. The only guy off the bench, if all 5 of the starters are playing, the only guy off the bench is guaranteed 20 minutes is Iguodala at a 4.3 price tag. That's it, man. That's all I got for the Warriors.
You really think all those guys are in play tomorrow?
I mean, you're not going to play them together, but, I mean, they're all decent. I mean, Steph Curry at 9.8 price tag, you can play him in GPP. Kevin Durant, 9.3, you can play him in GPP. Clay 8.2. You can play him in GPP. Draymond 7.2. Like they're all like not crazy high price. Like you can pick one. Oh yeah, I'll play him. But I think they're all in play for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
No, I was curious what your thoughts were.
Yeah, because I mean, hey, they're just good. They're all good prices. I mean, that's really where I'm at. They're not like none of them are crazy outrageous. Bradley Beal is the same, should be the same price as Klay Thompson, and Bradley Beal is almost 11,000. Like none of them are crazy price like that. You know what I mean?
So my opinion is this: if you're gonna play these guys like you just mentioned in GPPs, play Klay Thompson.
Yeah, for sure. Can't. I mean, he's been hot. Can't argue that. So
And you're gonna get him at the lowest ownership of any of them.
Yeah, him and Draymond are always the lowest owned. Him and Draymond. Draymond's starting to pick it up a little bit too. Hey,
but he ain't gonna block 5 shots every game, bro.
Yeah, I know, but he's playing very, very well right now. So that's all we got for you guys. 6 games wrapped up. We'll be back tomorrow, man. If you guys haven't checked out the site, we got a ton of content that we're putting up every day. We got 5 or 6 different NBA pieces that are coming up. We got NHL, MMA weekly, PGA weekly. Got a lot of exciting things coming up in the very, very near future. Hey, get that MLB season package. Use promo code MLB50 at checkout. $150. You get all MLB season, our cash lineups, optimizer, all of our content. Hey, join the money team. Make sure and jump in our free chat room as well. Outside of that, talk to you guys later. Peace out.